She is just a wealth of knowledge. So I'm super excited for you to learn from her today and experience what we have to offer and to support you, and just really pick her brain and ask any questions that you might have. For those of you that will be attending in person, I will be on site starting tomorrow evening, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I hope you will come by our booth. And we have some free books. We have lots of resources. All of the resources she's going to be sharing today, we will have as samples so you can actually touch and feel and take a look. If you're not coming in site at the end of this, we're still going to give you an opportunity to get a free book that we can either drop off at your school for you or mail to you. So make sure you stay on until the end, and we're going to be sharing that QR code. So I'm located in the Central Coast and Southern California. I have my colleague Lori Brooks here. She works with schools in the San Diego area, but we can certainly support you wherever we're at. So with that, any further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Lynne Fox.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. So what I understand us to be talking about today is really developing life-ready leaders in the extended learning space. And so when I say extended learning, let's just make sure that we understand what the space we're talking about, right? Summer and after school. So as people keep joining, let's just talk about what our journey is going to be. One, we're going to get to know each other a little bit on this call and on this, well, actually workshop, right? As people keep joining, that's phenomenal. And we are going to explore extended learning from your perspective and the mindset, skill set, tool set it takes to really make an amazing impact in the lives of kids in extended learning of summer and after school. So before we do that, right, are you all in the right place? I'm going to stop share a second. I'm really hoping I could see faces. It really helps me. If I understand, if you don't want to, if you're not feeling like, hey, not looking my best today, totally get it. But I'm really hoping we could have an engaged, interactive experience, which really includes me getting to see your faces so I can read what's going on, right? So I greatly appreciate if you choose to turn your camera on. So you're all here, like excited for that element of let's talk about the impact and creative spaces we can bring to extended learning, summer and after school. How's that sound? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Is that why you're here? Okay. So before we start, I need you to throw into the chat, please. Just throw in your name, your role, name, role, and where you're from. Actually, pause. I'm going to make you do something different. Is it okay if I make you do something different? Can you do it? All right, here's your challenge. I've never done this in chat. We're going to try a few things on here I've never done before. So, hey, we can do it. I'm going to ask you actually to type in your high five. Let me just find my, to make it easy for you. Here we go. This is what I want you to do. And I will model for you. You're going to type in just with words very quickly, your high five. So your name, your role, and three facts about yourself. But here's the interesting thing. Your pinky, so fact one, your thumb, your name, then your role, then 3 facts about yourself. But your pinky must be interesting, quirky, or unusual. Would you like me to model? I can't see everybody's faces. It's very difficult. So Jen and Lori, please do me a favor and give me some shout outs if I can't see people. So my name is Lynne Fox. I'm a global educational consultant. I have over 30 years experience in education at all levels, teaching, principal, leading a district, leading at the state level, working in the US and international. I have 2 gorgeous red-headed daughters that I love and adore and I'm proud of. Quirky fact that most people don't know, I can catch a rattlesnake. Put myself through college as a park ranger, and that's how I know how to catch rattlesnakes. So here's our challenge. I've never done this in a chat before, so let's see if you can do your 5 facts, type them in. I'll put this back up, and let's see what kind of interesting things we can learn about each other.
Your name, your role.
Yep, it's up on the screen for you.
Your name, your role.
Throw them in the chat. They're waiting for you to get them into the chat there. Again, it is a choice. You choose what you put into it. Thanks, Nat, for putting a snake in there. And it doesn't have to be anything big. You can just say, my name is this, I'm from here, I have a love of dogs, and like this, Nat. So great. Nat, do you mind if I call yours out? Nat Rosales on the call there, for coordinator of policy and outreach, finishing up her master's in philosophy. Nice. She has 2 cats, and I lost it, and 6 tattoos. Curious. Now I'm curious. Okay. I like soup. Alma, not my friend. I could not go out to dinner with you. She likes super hot foods. That'd be difficult. But I would love to enjoy it with you. I just order mild. All right. So while you're doing that, everybody look, read in the chat and see if there's anyone you see a connection with, right? This is our connection symbol. And just notice, read after you get them in there. Everybody's scrolling in. I know it's hard. No one's asked you to really think about quirky, interesting facts. And just do a shout out. Do you have a connection to someone, right? You can just type in their name, say, hey, Greta, I have a connection with you because of this. 5, I'm a dog lover, right? So there I just saw Marty is a dog lover, clearly. And so I'd write in Marty, I love dogs too, right? Throw that into the chat. Let's make some connections as you're sharing your greatness. I'm going to give us about 90 seconds to finish this off. Your high five, and if you see any connections. Okay, Sugar, a donkey bit your car. That's a story I'm going to need to learn about. I loved a boogie board. 15-foot waterfall. What? Awesome. Paige, I don't believe you. You may have to show us. I don't know if you guys saw what Paige wrote.
I said the same thing. I was like, I gotta see her lick her elbow.
Right? All right.
Paige, I'll send you 2 books if you will show us.
Okay. All right, friends, just by shouting out, coming off of mute for a second, what did you notice about doing the high five? It's very unusual doing it in a chat. That's the first time I've tried it in chat on Zoom, and it's much more powerful in person. But because of our time, I had to go fast. I'm like, let's try it in chat. What did you notice about that activity? Just unmute, shout it out.
It made me interested to meet some of these people, especially the ones with the cats and the onesies. I really want to see a cat in a onesie.
Okay. What else did you notice? Anyone?
I got really excited because someone mentioned philosophy, and I love philosophy, and you don't really hear about people who are passionate about it.
Hey, who was that? Nat. Nat meet Christian. Christian meet Nat. You both love philosophy. What else?
Some of us have similarities that maybe we wouldn't have known, without asking this question.
Right. Yeah. What else do you guys notice?
I felt like I had an instant friend and an instant connection in this room with somebody who used to be a camp counselor. So instantly I was like, ooh, they must be my person, because anybody that's crazy enough to do that must be really fun.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Do you instantly, like when we first came on, like we were strangers, right? But do you feel a wall coming down just by that one simple activity? Thumbs up or thumbs down? What do you guys think? Right? Did we make some human connection? Right? That's the power in our summer and after school space, extended learning, that is so powerful, is right to bring that human connection through engagement. And just on here, reading your names and what you like to do, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be friends with these people because we have so many interests that are the same. So I want you to put the high five. If you want, I'm going to put it back up. You are welcome to take a picture of this. I want you to put that in your little toolbox of when you work with groups or kids. Feel free, screenshot that, take a picture. It's one of my absolute favorite activities to really create connection when you're starting with a group, right? So before we begin, I need to really understand what's a win for you. We get to spend 90 minutes together and we're already down by 10. And so I'm like watching going, I need to know what will make this a great experience for you in this 90 minutes so that I can adjust and adapt what I do to meet your needs. And then I will share with you as your facilitator of learning, I will share with you my wins. So what are your wins, my friends? Just type it in the chat. My friends will call it out, or you're welcome. Just unmute and call it out. Love to hear your voices. What would be a win for you?
To clarify, are we talking about a win in general or a win for today?
A win for today in these 90 minutes. Thank you so much for a clarifying question. So what's a win? Like, what will make this a great experience on Zoom together? Whether it's what you want to learn, what you need. Tell me, guys, what would make it a great win?
I'm always looking for direct application, like things I can bring back tomorrow and start making changes at my site. So
Awesome.
anything.
Who was just speaking?
That was Christian Hampton.
Christian, thank you. And what's your role again?
I'm a site supervisor. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Anyone else? Being able to take back. So Sergio, you're the same thing. You want to share tools and systems? Great. How to interact better with teens. Ooh, okay. Teens, you're in my wheelhouse. What else? Anyone else? How about interaction? Engagement, interaction. Does that feel good to you? Yes, no, my friends, are you there? Bueller. Some of you too young for that reference. All right. High-end interaction. All right. Yes. Are you comfortable with breakout groups? Do you guys like breakouts? Some people like them, some people don't. I need a thumbs up, thumbs down. I got to get an idea. You're welcome to use your emojis. Ooh, somewhat. It needs to be high. If you get a breakout, it has to be highly purposeful. Is that it? Okay. Nothing just fluff. No fluff breakouts. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. How about this? When it's time for a breakout, you guys get to vote and tell me yes or no. How about that? Okay. And I'm happy to go either way. But that means a win for me is high engagement. To make this fun and interactive online, we need to say, hey, let's all be all in. Meaning focused in, engaging with your ideas. If I ask a question, like we got to pull it out because we're here to learn and grow from one another. Could you all be all in? Yes.
Can do.
Yeah. Christian, thank you. Love the voice, jumping in. Yeah, let's be all in. And I love to also say, let's assume high trust. We are all in this learning game together. There are no bad ideas. There are no bad comments. It is no bad questions, right? We are in this together to impact the lives of people. So let's just assume high trust that we're all with the best intentions of this. Can we do that? All right. All right. So please do not be afraid to say something you need or more, and I'll give you an idea of my game plan. Great. So as I shared, we're really going to explore extended learning and what that means to us in this space. But remember, the title is Developing Life-Ready Leaders. So we need to understand what we mean by life-ready. We need to understand what we mean by leaders in the extended learning space. And that extended learning space is summer and after school. Okay. How do you all have influence in summer and after school? Perfect, right? So thank you for being here, because I think that is a space that is going to be the greatest change agent in education right now. What can happen in this innovative space. So first things first, put your hands on your chat button, but don't enter until I say the word waterfall. I want to ask you this question in the chat. What should after school and summer learning be like for kiddos? Put your hand on your chat and type it, but don't hit return until I tell you to. Don't hit return, just put your answer in, wait for my instructions, but I want you to think big. What should summer and after school be for kids? I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to type a couple words in, not a sentence, just put out words, my friends. In 10. Okay. And I'm going to do a countdown. In a 10, I'm going to say waterfall. You're going to hit return. Okay. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, waterfall. Let's see what y'all put in. Welcoming, fun, engaging, skill building, enriching, fun, hands-on. What else do we have here? Safe space to grow and learn. Woo! Engagement, exciting, safe. Love the safe. Place where students learn lifelong experiences. Fun, engaging, holistic, meaningful, fantastic. So you all are clearly in the right job, right? Impactful. Love it. Hands-on, motivate. Well, then you all are exactly where you should be today, because that's exactly what we believe. So FranklinCovey, in our extended learning space, our job and mission is to bring all of this to anything we build and do for kids. And in fact, we have a mission and vision to help bring that forward, because a lot of after school and summer is becoming more school, right? It's becoming a bit more school to close gaps. And our kids need gap fillers, but they need enrichment and empowerment and self-efficacy. But it also needs to be fun in this space. So it sounds like we are all in the great. I'm loving that we all have the same paradigm. So now let's explore life ready. What do we mean by life ready when you hear that? Okay. So I'm just going to say this one directly. Out in the field of education all around the globe, not just the United States, there are these terms: college and career readiness, 21st century skills, social emotional learning, character, soft skills, life skills. It's all pointing to a job to be done. And that job to be done is be life ready, meaning not just the academic mindset, but the social emotional, those life skills, the stuff we use every day. The stuff you and I are using on the Zoom call together, our communication skills, our empathy, our compassion, all of those components, our ability to focus, that's life ready. So for us, it's beyond just academics. It's pointing to this space. Any thoughts, questions, or ideas on this? Any comments? Would you agree that all of those initiatives are pointing at life ready? Yeah, thank you, Marty. Right? So, and I think you and your role have the greatest impact for this. So remember, the second part of that sentence was develop life ready leaders, right? So we now have our concept of life ready. Let's explore leadership. Okay. So do me a favor, and on a piece of paper in front of you, put leadership in the middle and just put arrows pointing out. Now, if you don't have that, you have tech in front of you, just type it. It's fine. I don't mind. And I want you to ask yourself, when you hear the word leadership, write all the words that come to mind for you. What are all the words that come to mind? Okay, can you guys do some shout outs for me? And okay, what words came to mind? I'm going to take a risk that I can type in front of you all because you know how that goes sometimes, right? Okay, what do we think of when we see the word leadership? Anybody?
Understanding.
Say it louder, please.
Understanding.
Great. What else?
Vision, guidance.
Followership,
Tell me more.
followership, learning to be a good.
Followership.
Yeah.
Okay.
Role models.
Respect.
Great.
Problem solving.
Open-minded.
Okay. Any others?
Adaptability,
Okay. Great.
Good communicator.
A listener.
Okay.
Team player.
empathy,
Okay. Awesome. Great words. Tells me you guys have I just love how our paradigm is so positive about what not just boss, top down manager, right? Though management is a leadership skill. So here's what I'd love for you to do next. You're about to watch a video. Okay. As you watch this video, I want you to look for any new words you would add to your paradigm. Okay, you already have your list of ideas. This is all music and words, so you have to see the screen. Look for anything else that you say, oh, I believe that. I want to bring that into my definition of leadership. Okay, here we go.
I don't think you're sharing sound if there's supposed to be sound.
Yes, there is. Let's make sure that the
I'm glad
sound.
you said something, Peter, because I thought it was just me. I was like, I'm not hearing it.
That's so unusual.
You might have to stop sharing and resharing. There's a little box at the bottom that says share computer audio as well.
Okay, hold on. Everyone I see share. Okay, just make sure. I'm so sorry. So talks amongst yourself for 1 second. It's okay, let's try one more time. While I'm trying one more time, Jen or Lori, can you pull up Leader Me Online and grab the video from Leader Me Online if you just type in Rethinking Leadership?
Let me try.
Let me try one more time. Hey, these are leadership skills, my friends.
That's
We are
right.
problem solving. Tell me if you can hear now. Yes? Wait, is that a yes?
I heard it for a second.
Okay, let's try again. Here we go. Give it 2 seconds.
No. What's the video called, Lynn?
Rethinking Leadership. Watch how fast we solve this, my friends.
after you press the share screen, that's when the little checkbox at the bottom shows up. So when you press the share screen button at the bottom, there should be a little check mark that says share sound.
You're amazing. Let's try it now. Okay. Are you sharing? You see my screen? And I'm going to go one last time. This is it. What is it? We got to get 100%.
Okay, I got it if you want me to try. Oh, wait. You hear it for like a second, but then it goes away.
Okay, you're on.
Okay,
Share
I'm
screen.
gonna try mine. Let's see. Do you guys hear mine?
Yes.
Yes? Great.
Can you turn it up, Jen?
Oh. Well, now you are really.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. Did that help, Lori?
Everyone, add to your list any other words you would have pulled. Thank you, Jen.
Authenticity.
Oh, okay. What was it? What was it in the video that made you grab authenticity?
The specific, sorry, let me think. The specific things that people went out to accomplish. You're authentic when you're true to yourself and what you want to support people in. So I think that's just where it came from for me.
Okay. Any other words? You can type them in the chat. You can. Inspiring. I'm just going to add these all over here, so it's really easy to write. Inspiring. What else? Unquestionable, trustworthy. Can someone, Lisa, can you tell me more about unquestionable so I understand it? Character. Okay. Yeah. So what I want you to really think about, and then and I saw that a couple of you noticed the quote at the end by Stephen Covey. His quote was this. So Stephen Covey is a thought leader. How many of you guys know Stephen Covey? Do you know who he is? He wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? So, and over 35 years ago. And he was just a thought leader in the world. That's what he was. He just said, I just want to bring greatness I want to unleash human potential. That was his mission. And he thought the skill sets of that 7 habits that he structured together after all his research would do it. But his definition of leadership is that leadership, are you ready for the quote? Leadership is communicating a person's worth and potential so clearly they are inspired to see it in themselves. Leadership is communicating a person's worth and potential. And in fact, I'm going to pop it on the screen for you. So clearly, they are inspired to see it in themselves, right? So that was Stephen's definition of leadership here. It's giving me a hard time. Okay. Now, if you are partnering, so do any words stand out for you in that definition? Do any words resonate with you in that definition of leadership?
I think the difference between inspiring someone and like bringing, I always love the juxtaposition between that and bringing them there. It's not you're doing it for them, you're helping them realize their potential.
Yes, that's what I'm seeing in the chat as well. Worth and potential, like so that they clearly see their worth and potential and they can go and come forth themselves. So our definition of leadership is a FranklinCovey education is this. Building off of Stephen's great legacy, we truly believe all people can be leaders with this definition. The ability, like 2 arms, the ability to lead self, know who I am, what I want to become, and a plan to get there. And then lead others, this capacity to work well and lead others in collaborative endeavors. So if you see on the right, this is our student leadership portrait. So what we develop, these are the competencies. So we say, what do you build when you want to lead others? These are the competencies it takes. Do you see those words on the screen? Self-regulation, vision, high order, developing strengths, goal setting, and continuous improve. Then when we say lead others, go to the green. These are the competencies that we aim to build. And this is all done through a whole person approach, raising up mind, body, heart, and spirit of every human being in the way they want. Okay. So I'd love for you to write down right now. You now know here was Stephen's definition, which morphed into this definition as an education company and what we're going for. I'd like you to write down your personal definition of leadership, what you believe leadership to be. You don't have to believe what we believe, but you might say, you know what, this really resonates with me, that this is what true leadership is. So take a second and jot down your thoughts on what leadership is. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds, how about 20 more seconds to just write down your thoughts. Okay. Now, write down a 1 to 10 scale. 1 is low, 10 is high. Just personal reflection. How well do you feel you're living your leadership definition? Just do a little personal reflection. 1 low, 10 is high. Are you on it, right? Are you living what you believe to be your leadership definition? Just do a little personal reflection. All right, so just by way of reflection, give me a little bit of insights. Did that get you thinking about yourself and your leadership in your role and in life? Yep. All right, so that is your first mindset. Thank you, Marty, for sharing. I love it. Yeah. So even though we build this, these competencies and skills here, even though we teach it and try to live it, we're all continuously growing to improve it. So what I want to really jump into is in your extended learning space, what you do in summer and after school, we're going to explore mindset, skill set, and tool set. And we'll just go one by one. And you just started that, right? Mindset is all around our paradigms. So I want you to define this as the paradigms, how you see the world. So put it this way, I want you to think of it as like a metaphor of the glasses we look through. So if my glasses, if you can see me on screen, if my glasses set on them, I'm a failure. And that's what I put through. And that's the lens I look through the world. That's going to shape what I do, won't it? That will also shape how I treat others. That will also shape the results I get. But if my glasses said, like even Stephen Covey's glasses, his glasses said, I believe I can unleash human potential. That's what Stephen Covey said. So when he looked it in through that lens. So the lens we look through really matters. So I want you to do a little self-exploration on your paradigms because this really matters for you to make an impact in your job. Are you ready? Are you willing to try this little journey? Yes? All right. Because we cannot do well in this world without thinking this through. So I'm going to have you, skipping this, hold on, let me skip it. I want you to write on a piece of paper these 3 items: self, role, and impact. Self, role, and impact. Okay. Now write down what you believe, your paradigm, your mental map, how you see the world about yourself. Then your paradigm about your role, your professional role, and your paradigm about the impact you feel you make. And I'll give you about 2 minutes to do so. This doesn't have to be anything surreal, just like think about the messages you say to yourself, just dig deep, write your paradigms. Does anyone need more time? Just give a shout out, say how many, if you need more time. Okay, did everyone have a chance to do it? Yeah. Okay. I can only go by the faces I see. So here's what I'd love for you to do. And I remember when we said in our win-win, all in and take a risk. All in and take a risk. I'd like to put us in breakouts of 3 people. Nat, if you're there, can you do breakouts of 3 people, please? And I want you to discuss all 3 of those paradigms. So you will get each 2 minutes. Do 1 paradigm at a time. Okay, so start with probably your role. Talk about yourself. And so like if I were to, let's pretend Lori Brooks and I were doing this, I would share my paradigm of my role. She would share her paradigm of her role. Then I would say, okay, let's now talk about our paradigm of our impact. And we would discuss that. So do 1 at a time and make sure both people share. Does that make sense? So you're going to get a minute per paradigm. So it's 3 minutes, and then we're pulling you back. Do me a favor, go all in, have the discussion and see the impact it has. So how many paradigms are you talking about? All 3, 3 minutes for 3 paradigms. Make sure each person is heard. Nat, go for it.
All right, I'm about to open up the rooms and they're going to close after 3 minutes.
You want 3 minutes or 6 minutes? How many people are in a room?
3 minutes for 3 people. 3 minutes, 3 people in a room.
Alrighty, you should have got the notification to go into your breakout room.
So how did that feel? Did you go all in?
I was in a room by myself the whole time.
I wish you would have bounced back to us. We would have popped you over. Sorry. Anyone
That's okay. I
We
bounced
tried
back.
to check and make sure there were at least 2 people in each room. I'm so sorry.
I bounced back, but then it kicked me out of the Zoom altogether, so I had to come back in.
Yeah, I see we have less participants. I'm wondering if that happened to others. We're having real Zoom issues today. Ugh. Okay. Anyone else that got to participate?
I think it's a fun experience to be vulnerable with people who share a lot with you in what they do in the world.
Okay. Thank you, Christian. Anyone else?
Sorry, what was the question? We just got back.
I just said, so how did it feel or what did you notice? Sorry.
No, it's fine. This is amazing. I actually sat with Maribel. She's in Delano, but she grew up in Pomona and I grew up in Pomona, and it was just very cool, like talking about the self and our paradigms and how very much we see the world based on the culture and our upbringing, which impacts the role that we do and the work why we work where we work, and seeing the impact through that lens. We have a measurement, are we helping these people? Are we moving forward with that? That's really the guiding point for us.
Sergio, you just like made me feel all warm inside. Like, I don't know, like I just got emotional listening to you, feeling that connection with her. And then you both thinking about the impact you make in the world. Awesome. Anyone else? Sergio, thank you for sharing. That just made my day. Anyone else? Maria.
No.
Yeah, Maria, did you want to say something or someone else? Okay, so you'll notice I say 3 words that really make an impact, and I want you to write these down. When you work with groups of people and you have discussions or you create experiences, there are 3 phrases that allow people to open up. So here's another takeaway for you. 1, how did that feel? Write that one down. It allows people to share whatever they're thinking or in understanding of there's a feeling in all we do. 2, what did you notice? What did you notice? And then you can hear the insights and greatness from other. And the 3rd one is, tell me more. When you work with your staff or you work with kiddos, Those 3 open-ended questions are a great tool for you because it allows people to really share their insights and we learn more. And we learn and grow together versus assuming we know everything. So that idea of paradigms, I wanted you really to think about because it's so important that your paradigm of self, your role, and the impact you want to make will determine everything you do with your staff and with kids. If we don't check our paradigms, we're not living by design. We're living by default. We're going to do and say things that may or may not be in alignment with what we really want to get in this world. Does that make sense? Right? So here's your other takeaway for you and your staff. I want you at your staff level to say, what paradigms are we living in this after school program? What paradigms are we living in our summer program? You must create common paradigms. You must. So there's your other to-do task list for you to go back and do with your staff to say, in our program X, let's list the paradigms we're going to live by and do. When you create common paradigms, you get amazing results. And create programs by design.
Paradigms.
Yeah. So let's now jump into, okay, remember our whole thing here was mindset, skill set, tool set. We have hit, let me find my slides. We have hit our mindset portion, right? So let's jump on down to, let's jump to skill set. So, and just so you know the difference, when I think mind, paradigms, and that's essential. Skill is the big skills of life. And then tools are like if I think about it as like the toolbox to fix a problem. Does that make sense? The micro tools versus the skill. And if you think like educators and what we do, okay? So here's what I want, the 3 areas I want you to now think about in skill set, okay? Skill set, creative staffing, staff learning, and community partnerships. This is for you. These are not the skills I'm talking about at the skill level of your staff, your face front staff. Many of you are site leads. These are the skill set for you as a site lead or a director who you get to impact the entire program. Does that make sense? So first thing I want you to do is write down your staff plus deltas, right? What's the plus about your staff? What's everything goes well and you can celebrate on the left column. And on the right column, I want you to write, what's their area for growth? You know, what are your pain points that you're having? Push out if you don't understand what I'm asking you to do. And always, by the way, start with your celebrations. Keep a positive paradigm starting with all the things that go well. All the things that go well. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to really just jot some down. These are your first thoughts, impressions. Okay, guys, let's do a really fast open discussion. Let's start discussing what are the celebrations of your staff. Just call them out, unmute. Let's have an open discussion. What's the celebration areas of your staff?
The ability to adapt and apply.
Okay. Thank you.
Engagement.
Tell me more.
Engaging the child when they come in and out of programs. They want to stay and talk to them and be more involved in the program.
Amanda, that's awesome. Your staff's at that level. That's great. Congratulations. Anyone else?
Incredible energy levels.
That's great to hear. Wow. Anyone else?
Ability to make decisions under stressful situations.
Awesome. Fantastic. Anyone else? Okay, guys, what's our deltas? What's our areas of challenge that or growth for your staff?
Asking for help.
Okay. Anyone else? Do you have enough staff?
We have high turnover.
Okay, so that's a great challenge area, Jennifer, high turnover. Okay. Some of you said, no, I don't have enough staff. Okay. Anyone else? How about, are your staff educators with a background in knowing how to manage children, or non-educators, classified staff?
Classified, and they're typically pretty young.
Yep. Not to let you right.
With little experience.
Yeah. So across the nation, that's what we're finding a lot of, is that in our after school and summer space, creative staffing is a need. And raising them up is a need, because they don't come with the background or experience needed to really create a safe and caring environment of belonging. Do you guys find that's your challenge? Well, here's the great news. I'm so excited to share with you that we have the ability to not only get creative about staffing, but also raise them up so deeply that they can do great work for kids, but also start getting their own lives in a different direction. So let me share a little bit about that with you. So number one, creative staffing. Look at these pictures here. So this is Fallbrook. Here's Fallbrook in California. These are 47 young adults, 18 to 30 years old, working in the after school space. We know, but here's the cool part. They are from the Boys and Girls Club. So that district partners with the Boys and Girls Club to get staff. And then we are here doing a training with them, raising them up, teaching them the mindset, skill set, tool set. So there is one way for creative partnerships. If you have not done this, you may already know this, your YMCA, your Boys and Girls Club, your youth centers, they are looking for places to employ students. So partnerships between districts. This one here is, these are teenagers. So this is CJ and Kendra in Louisville, Kentucky. So we have a summer program. We have a summer program where these teens, that happens actually in the summer, and there's another place that does it after school. Teenagers are getting employment by working in summer and after school. But of course, we raise them up. So they must be of the age of work. So 15 and above or 16 and above, depending upon the state where they can earn a license. So what we're finding is our teenagers need jobs and they need career opportunities. So these guys work in the summer school that is provided by the district, because they're having a staffing shortage as well. So we're finding community partnerships, whether it's district and with teens or young adults, is a place to be, is in creative partnerships. But then our training, and from a staff development perspective, has to be a professional and a personal journey. Professional and personal. Well, what do I mean by that? Number one, the professional side, our staff needs mindset, skill set, tool set on how to deliver programs and create a safe and caring environment where students can feel a sense of belonging and develop leadership and life skills. So I look at it kind of like this. You think of it as the green space, right? The educational knowledge and practices to make this space outstanding. Then the blue is a curriculum. If you don't have curriculums or programs, but want one, is a curriculum that builds the leadership and life skills and raising them up there. So what we do in our staff learning, if you go see Jen there, we build up this in the staff learning. The mindset, look at what the mindset, skill set, tool set is that we train our young staff in, that I'm suggesting you look at creating a strategic training in. And if you want to come see FranklinCovey, happy to share more. But we do the mindset about their professional side in their role, their purpose, their abilities, also their skill set to create schedules, systems, and routines, and more importantly, the tool set. This is where we really see the difference where the rubber meets the road. The ability for behavioral empowering strategies, community building games, and what they need. We do all of this through several approaches. So we teach the mindset, skill set, tool set. This is the professional knowledge, right? That many of us as educators come to this world with. We kind of turnkey that over. Then on the personal journey, we bring in the 7 habits of highly effective people. That is the personal competence, the character and competence to move them from dependence, immaturity, to independence, to interdependence. So they learn this for themselves, while they also learn how to bring it to children, the proactive language, everything we need to do. So when we look at these kiddos, we do need creative solutioning. But if you already have a great staff, we do need to raise them up personally and professionally, because they're often youngins. They don't come to the world with the background and experience that we would as educators to manage children and what we're asking them to do. So again, I just repeat, it is staff development on a professional side, mindset, skill sets, tool set, and then the personal side, the skills of life. So that's part of our mission, is to raise up both. Now, any thoughts or questions on that so far? Does that make sense of needing a professional and a personal journey? Does that make sense? Okay, in a robust professional learning. The other thing that we talk about here is our community partnerships. Well, how does that happen, right? So here's this example with our community partnership to make it, because budgets are always a challenge, right? So in Louisville, Kentucky, that's where this is with the teens in the summer, that I'm so proud of what they do. JCPS is the school district. Louisville Community Works is the community arm inside Louisville, Kentucky. And then they partner with FranklinCovey, Extended Learning Leader in Me. So this is how it works. JCPS partners with FranklinCovey to bring in great training and support and content. Louisville hires the teens and pays the teens for their summer work, because they run their summer programming, as an example. That's their partnership. So we have a 3-way partnership to raise up the personal and professional learning of these teens while they make a tremendous impact on kids. And we're finding that there's retention and impact on little ones, on top of it's creating a teacher pipeline. CJ here now wants to be a teacher. Kendra went off to college and she moved into college. So they're getting this kind of trajectory for life. And the way we look at our training and staff development is in this partnership. This is just an example of a creative partnership for teens, raising them up. We bring them together for an institute where they learn the 7 habits. They learn systems for success, that mindset, skill set, tool set. They choose to use a curriculum, which you'll see a little bit more of in a minute. And then they go teach younger children. We come back and support them. They go back and teach younger kiddos. And then they come back for a leadership project. That happens for both after and at school. So it's a very creative endeavor. So feedback real quick on that. Any thoughts, questions so far? Okay. I want
I
How
you
would
to
you
would
start
just say as-
collaboration?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Said, how would you start collaboration with that, with the community programs? Because I feel like it's, at least in my district, I don't see it. I don't see a lot of hiring of teenagers or anything like that. So how would you start that collaboration or bring that about?
You know, it's all about vision. So how that one in Louisville started, it was one person in the district level saying, I just want to raise up teenagers. How can we do this? And we came to the table and created the Leadership Institute for Teens. That's what it was called, the Leadership Institute for Teens. And so what they did is we brought people to the table to dream big. That's it. You find who are your key players in your community, between the district and your community, who has empathy, but also has vision, and said, Here's our challenge. Here's what we want to do. Let's dream big for a minute and see what we can put together. And that's how it started.
And every district has teacher development, people that are in there, they're trying to develop the pipeline. And that's kind of especially now, it's kind of getting bigger every year. So every district office has that staff.
Yeah. And also, so like everybody has vision and mission of what they want to do, and everybody has problems and pain points they're trying to solve. It's a matter of getting people to the table and saying, let's talk what we can bring together. And that is one thing that if you find Jen at her table, reach out to Jen tomorrow or us, we're really good at bringing partners together to figure this out. Like on Saturday, I'll be in Fallbrook again because they had needed between the Boys and Girls Club and their site leads, they need some training and support for strategic planning. So I'm coaching them through to solidify their partnership. Christian or Sergio, jump in.
I think Sergio was there first. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say we work closely with the workforce at the high schools. So they come out to our elementaries. Now the high schools do their own like program to pay the students or get a stipend. We are just a place where they come in, are able to provide that. So we work with them. A lot of the kids then, our hope is that these kids are very similar to what Lynne was saying. Well, they want to come once they turn 18 and apply for us and then keep growing and then becoming teachers and staying in the district, staying in the community because they have that connection already and they understand. So right now we're very much at that level, but we keep focusing on trying to get that going with the district at a higher level.
Well, Sergio, we'd be happy to help in that conversation by far, because we can show it's really like everybody has the same pain points. It's just a matter of how we synergize together. Christian, awesome, Sergio.
To speak to connecting with connecting to find these collaborations, I can only speak to how the Y does it. It's a little bit different after COVID, specifically in the after school space, because we have to work with the school district's limitations. But I know that in our camp programs that go on during summer and during some of the breaks, they have something specifically to work with high school students called the Leaders in Training. So if you look at applications, if you look at the applications for working in camps through the YMCA websites, you can often find places where you can. We used to, in the after school, we used to be able to have high school volunteers. That seems like it might be coming back soon, hopefully. But, and then, again, this is only San Diego. I can't speak across the state either.
Yeah. So I just want you to think about that, because I think our opportunity for impact is greater than just putting like the staff that come into our place are young, and it's okay to even go younger because we can raise them up. So I want you to think about that, the creative staffing and creative partnerships with a job to be done, but then add in how we raise them up with the personal and professional learning. Peter.
Hi, I just wanted to add in with hiring high schoolers. I ran like a really great high school internship program. They're awesome. The point of those programs is you need to double check that they count as ratio, because sometimes you hire high schoolers, but they're if you have the state grants, they can't be alone with the children because they're not 18.
Yeah.
But like what Sergio said, is what happens is they get their skill sets there and then they stay.
Yes.
And they turn into your staff and they turn into your site leads, and they have the work experience that they know is what you've trained them. So they're great. But I don't want people to think like this is going to solve my staffing issues. They're helpful, but they don't always count in ratio. So just to be aware.
Totally agree. And I thank you for saying that. We did find in Louisville that even when they had the ratio, they just said having their extra hands, they're like, we can't live without these teens in the summer anymore. So they're moved from 50 kids to 160 are being hired. But the beauty of this is that those teens that we're pouring into are going to come back and make an impact in their community, right? So they're extra hands, they're getting they're getting some world-class training, and they're getting life experience, and the little ones adore them, absolutely adore them. So there's triple wins all the way around. I want to
Lynn, can I just add one thing? I'd really encourage you, as someone who used to be a former administrator or principal of an after-school program. And at one point I ran it myself, but we also worked with a community partner, the Boys and Girls Club. Just know that if you are working for like a Boys and Girls Club or a YMCA, I really encourage you to work with your district and remember that they have an invested interest in your success. So if it's something that you're interested in doing or something that you want to see, remember to reach out to whatever school site principal it is that you have, or maybe you're working with a director. Because when I was a principal, I know that lots of times we would co-fund certain initiatives. So if there were things the Boys and Girls Club wanted to do with our students, but they didn't have enough in their budget to carry it, oftentimes our district or me at the school site, I could pitch in some funds in order to make it happen for our students. So I would just really encourage you to always lean in on your districts and your site administrators to see how they can partner with you in these initiatives.
Awesome. So last component that I want to say about this one, though, is what I really want you to put into your job to be done is to look at your staff development learning program. The what and the how you train up your staff, right? The professional learning versus also what tools do you provide them? So we provide an exploration curriculum. And here's what I want you to hear very interesting about this here. In the curriculum space in after school should be innovative, which works itself into tool set. What you need to put in the hands. So besides the training, right? You want to give them staff development and training, which again, we'd love to partner with you. But I want you to think through in the tool set that you give them, innovative curriculum, connection building games, and positive behavioral supports. So from a curriculum perspective, curriculum like this, I'm going to give you a whip around in the imagination series and then talk to you about an exploration series, okay? Lots of curriculums in the after school space are very, very similar to school. We believe it should be unschooled in after school and in the summer. So one, imagination series is set. We use this primarily in the summer, but we also support an after school model very similar. It is around the 7 habits, but it is an instructional model that's head, heart, and hands, meaning we want to bring something to their head cognitively, create a social emotional experience, and have them apply it through what we call our lead it model. So they're creating a social emotional connection. We do it with the role of the educator, and I call all of the people in your program as educators, because an educator is someone who's touching the life of a child, right? That's what's happening. So they are educators. They need to be a guide on the side and part of the fun in materials that are truly innovative. So we have these materials that are typically, we try to make sure that the kids can interact and bring their own color to the page. You'll notice that the pages themselves on the physical materials are open-ended so that the kids are having fun. And the way I want you to think about this, imagine 7 habits comes together with old school camp games and a Wreck-It journal. That's what this is. High engagement through imagination and integration of gamification. So the kids in these materials, they cut and they fold. They draw and they flip. They draw and journal. They even tear it out and crumple it up. So this is an example on a page right here where the kids write an obstacle they're trying to overcome in their life. They tear the page out. They have a snowball fight. They pick up the page and they come up with solutions. This one here are questions our older kids answer, and they tear out the page. They make a paper airplane and they try to shoot it. They play a game about achieving a life goal. This is what little ones create. See, this looks like a remote where they cut this out. They design strategies of self-regulation, right? And they played the pause-o-matic game. They cut it out and play a game. Hey, do you remember the game Who Sunk My Battleship? Maybe some of you are old enough to remember that game. This is Who Sunk My Good Habit of Life. They put their books together and it acts just like that game. So, That's an example of gamification from an imagination series. In our exploration world, kids are going to truly go into the skills of life. Like, so if I say communication, call out, what are all of the skills of communication? Can you guys call out, what's a skill of communication?
Listening.
Okay, great. One. What's another one?
Talking.
Great.
Empathizing.
Great.
Sharing.
Okay. Would you add greeting, knowing how to greet? Would you add body language? Would you add tone? Right? Those are the skills that schools do not get down to that micro level. We always talk at the big level. Be a good communicator, know how to listen, know how to talk. Da, 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 da. In our explorations curriculum coming out August 1st, the kids will be gamified into those skill sets. So if it would be a communications exploration, and then they're going to learn right down to greeting, body language, all of that through a gamified manner. So the cool part about this, though, is we know we have young staff. This will raise up their skill in life while it also raises up the kids that they serve. So while we raise them up with knowing how to run and have the skills as an educator and after school, we also put in their hands creative, fun, engaged materials that explore and teach leadership and life skills. Does that make sense? And if there's time allowing, I'm going to have you play one of those. So any thoughts or questions on that? Any thoughts or questions on that one? Ask me more about our type of curriculum or tools or resources so far. Okay. Great. So then what else I want you to think about, is innovative curriculum, right, that you're going to give them. And I also said, think of connection games and positive behavioral strategies. So connection games come in 3 categories that we love to transition and give people. They get to know you. They need those. They need games that help build connections between kids. So the high five I gave you earlier in this is an example. Make sense? Or I can show you name, game, juggle, like all sorts of ways. We know that when kids know each other, they are less likely to hurt each other. We know that when human beings can make connections, we build belonging and safe communities. Fun and exercise games. And I have a little resource I'm going to give you. I'm going to try to drop it in the chat in a moment. And making connection games, so silly and fun. So the high five was an example of that. And I'm running out of time, so I can't teach you. We teach games that teach the emotional bank account, like getting to know one another. We have positive behavioral supports and strategies like proactive language, teaching people how to speak to one another. Knowing how to listen. So when your staff learns how to listen to kids. So think about this way about the listening skill set, how to do reflective listening with empathy with your eyes, ears, and heart. So the staff knows how to hear a child and what their needs are. I want to jump back at proactive language. It's knowing and giving the language of how to work with children. The stems to say, how can I help you? And how they support and involve. And then most importantly, we really teach the skill set of pulling apart stimulus and response. When something happens, how do you pull apart and not react in a way that's not going to get the result you want? Teaching the concept of creating win-win agreements. So we made a win-win today before the beginning of this call. So rather than using hardcore rules, saying, how do we create win-win environments and how to use a win-win agreement in positive behavior to create the outcomes you want for a kiddo who might be struggling? Let me pause for a second. Do these resonate with you as a need in your program or in that make impact, that can make a great impact in the space?
Absolutely.
Tell me more. What else do you, so I gave you the idea of innovative curriculum, connection building games, and positive behavior strategies are the three key players that make the greatest impact in after school tool set. Would anyone have anything they would add to that as a key tool? Okay, so give me some feedback here. Was that any of that resonating with you of like, wow, I think that is something that could really help raise up my staff? A thumbs up or a thumbs sort of?
Is it possible to get this workbook that you're showing?
Yeah, so do you see Jen Duston right there? Jen, raise your hand, call yourself out.
Yes, me. Hi.
So before we leave today, Jen is she's your person. Are you all going to the conference in person tomorrow? Okay, so Jen and Lori are going to put their information in the chat. Jen and Lori, can you guys put your California connections? Before I leave, I'm going to show you something at the end of it because I have a closing video I just want to inspire you with. Then Jen's going to put up a code. That code will get you free resources from Jen, some free books and stuff. But find out more about our mission in partnership we can do with you. This is what we do in the after school and summer space. We want to do exactly what you're going after, raising up kids, creating safe and caring environment, fun and engaged. So
I just dropped it in the chat. You can contact Lori or I. Like I said, I serve the Central Coast and all of LAUSD. So I serve Ventura County, Santa Barbara County, San Luis Obispo County, and all of Los Angeles Unified School District. Lori serves the San Diego area, but we have 5 other client partners that serve other parts of California. So you can just get in touch with Lori or I, and we can connect you with your local support representative in your area. And then what I dropped in the chat right there is a QR code. If you just scan that, it's just going to be a quickie little form when you put in your information, and then we'll send you that book right there. It's the 7 Habits of Happy Kids. It's a great book to read with your students. There's questions and like to do and activities. Of course, we have the full gamut and the full after school program, which you're seeing from Lynne today. And we can talk about what that would look like in your specific program. But we can get your information either by scanning that and putting your information in or just reaching out to Lori or I.
that was a great question. Any other questions, my friends? So here's what I'd like to bring home for you. Okay. 1, you're welcome to take, I just pulled this slide up for you. This is really where we live. So if you want to take a picture of that slide, you are welcome to, right? That we have 4 overarching approaches we use to really raise up extended learning spaces. Okay. You're welcome to grab a snap of that. You'll get the concept. So you noticed we have both the professional learning and curriculum, we have teens institutes, we have teach to learn institutes, and we have a full K-6 program and curriculum where we partner to meet your needs. Okay, screenshot it, take a picture, whatever you would like. And honestly, we're happy, and I'm happy to, Jen or Lori could tell you if you want any insights in support, I'll help out. You got this? So you got a good understanding of what, like, we think in 2 buckets, summer versus after school. And also we are seeing our teens working in this space. Okay.
And just to give you a quick idea of what we can do. So Lynne actually and Lori worked with San Diego Unified School District, and they came to them and said, hey, we want to do a summer program, but we're not really sure what that's going to look like. Can you help us design it? And that's pretty much exactly what Lynne and Lori did, is they designed a summer program in conjunction with San Diego Unified. So that's what we do. We'll work with you. We'll support you if you want to kind of revamp your after school program, if you want to look at what your expanded program looks like. We just come alongside and partner with you and really customize everything that you're seeing here to serve your specific program and what your goals and outcomes are.
Okay. And with our couple minutes left, here's what I want to give you. I just want to give you inspiration by some teenagers. Okay. Because you know how to get a hold of all of us now. But so in San Diego, or also in Louisville, Kentucky, the first year we did the Leadership Institute with teens who then went and taught. You guys all know how hard it is to inspire teens, right? You know it's hard. If we can inspire a teen, imagine what we can do K-5. Imagine what we can do with older kiddos. So just as your parting gift of inspiration, I want you to hear from kids who've experienced this content, who are teenagers, and just notice, just tell me what you notice in their eyes. Notice what their words say. And I'm going to hope that I'm not going to do full screen because I think that's what's knocking my sound out. So here we go.
It's a wonderful experience building soft skills and social emotional learning skills that you'll use throughout your career, whether that's academic or career-based.
I definitely think it's a valuable learning experience. I think there are a lot of skills and habits, especially just the 7 habits and all of the skills that you can build off from them that can make you a more successful and productive person.
Learning the 7 habits and those foundational skills that so many businesses use to train their employees is a wonderful experience, and I'm very grateful for it. It's all interactive. Everyone's very nice. The staff is so enthusiastic and passionate, you don't even feel like you're at work.
But in here, you don't even feel like you're learning something. It's like you're learning and having fun at the same time.
The people you meet here I've met are so kind and all willing to help me and care about me a lot. And all of them are just amazing people. Absolutely the best people I've met in a long time. And this is definitely some connections I've made that will probably last a lifetime.
This is probably the best thing that I could have done for the summer because it's both educational and motivational, and like it teaches you how to interact with other people.
La experiencia que tengo esta semana ha sido tremendo, ha sido todo muy, muy interactivo y aprendí mucho esta semana. Sí, recomiendo a otros jóvenes que vengan y experiencien la misma experiencia. Ha sido una experiencia muy, muy buena y muy interactiva. Bueno, he podido reflejar en mi propia vida y he podido mejorar mi vida y poder pensar más en mi futuro.
I want them it's good for you as a leader to you will improve your your leadership. When first first before I came here, I didn't know that I had a leader in me. But right now, I think I'm improving it. I think I'm getting out to be a good leader. And I think they will love it too. I want to say that I am really thankful that I became a part of this program. And this program has helped me in many ways. And I'm really thankful for it. And I think some of you guys should become a part of it too.
What did you notice about those teens?
They've got a passion about what they did. They're proud of themselves.
Okay, anyone else? Thank you, Christian.
The excitement for learning and realizing that, they can be leaders as well.
Right. It's hard to believe, right? These kiddos. Anyone else?
They were all very grateful to be involved in the program.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just love to see the spark in their eyes. I just love that, renewed. And there's this one moment where she says, I didn't even know I was learning. Right? That's what we want for kids in this after school space. So I'm popping in the chat for you. So in case I popped above, so I see Lori popped back in the scan for you. And above that, I put in a link to that video I just had in case you need to look at it again. I'm also going to add a link to a video. Lori, I'm looking for the video out of San Diego Unified High School. The link for that one. Let me see if I can find it quick. Yeah. Do I have it? I have it. Yeah. So this one's also, we did a similar thing in San Diego Unified, and the impact 6 months later is what you find on this video link. Okay. And then from a community partnership, I will add one last, there is a podcast that talks to the community partnership in the impact that they saw. You are welcome also to, if you need to find your community partners, this is a great one to say, look at the impact we can have together. Okay. So all three of those links are in there. We thank you so much for being with us. I hope you found this extremely fruitful.
Thanks, everyone.
Happy to
Thank
stay.
you.
Questions.